Son of Thanjai is a very impressive game, but you'd be surprised to know that it is being made by a relatively small team. So here we are in Chennai to uncover more about the game, check out the studio, and give you a peek into what you can expect from Son of Thanjai. So I'm here at Ayelet Studios, sitting down with Abraham. Abraham, thanks for having me. And can you, introduce yourself?
Oh, definitely. I'm Abraham, and I'm the studio head and creative director of Ayelet Studio, and we are working on a title called Son of Thanjai.
Yeah, I think we all know that now at this point. So I've seen a lot of the game. What really inspired this game? Where did it begin?
Oh, definitely. I think whenever we talk about single-player action-adventure game, I think I've been a gamer like for past 15 to 20 years, and pretty much whenever you play like story games, it's always about the West Europe, or it's always about the right, like Chinese or Japanese. I think that's where like, okay, why don't we do a story-based game based on our history and culture? So that's where we started this.
So there are many things that are super interesting about this game, but like the first one that stands out is the protagonist. Who is he?
So you play as Vinendra Chola or Vinna. So he is actually a heir who lost his title, who lost his identity. So he has been exiled from the king, and now you have to, and he needs to figure out like his way through of becoming a king. And during that journey, he's going to meet a lot of interesting people. It's going to shape him. That's where like the player is going to play in the open world.
So it's in his shoes, obviously. So like post the exile, are we going to see like him getting exiled, and like are we going to live through that? Yeah, is there so like there's a whole arc?
Yeah, exactly. And one of the best part about this, he had everything when he was in the palace. Now he starts from scratch. Right. So now he needs to figure out all the basic stuff. At the same time, he needs to figure out how the world treats him. And at the same time, he should not use his name or his identity anywhere in the world.
So now, as for him, as you said, like the arc, and he comes from a privileged background. So are we going to, like, as we learn the combat, he's also learning combat, or like?
So the Vinna is like 19. He's super not serious, and he's not a warrior yet, but he just figures out once he comes to the open world.
Okay, so like we're figuring out everything as him.
Exactly, along with the combat and stealth, and he's going to learn a lot of stuff in the world.
The one thing that I guess that stood out to me and like literally everybody was the weapon that he's using. Now I've seen like a depiction of this weapon. So I do have like a faint idea of what it is. It's like an urumi, that's a sword that is actually a whip. And it's a really cool concept, but I haven't seen something like this. So what inspired this weapon?
On the gameplay side, we want to make sure we come up with some new weapon. And that's where we took all inspiration from coloring martial art, because the stance, like the attack, the posture, and the weapon, everything is derived from that. And one of the hardest weapon to master is urumi or surulwal. Right. That's where it's going to be the primary weapon. And we have done a lot of, I think we want to focus more on that and explore in the game. And player will have a lot of power-ups, a lot of skill set, and a lot of rage modes, a lot of fun rage modes are there in the game.
So different kinds of rage modes, like additional abilities.
Exactly.
Okay, and you said something about like weapons in the sense like there are more weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have multiple secondary weapons. So one is called as Valari. It's a straight Tamil weapon which has been used for years in the warfare. So it's more like a boomerang, but it's a deadly boomerang. It can chop your head off. So we have that in game. For the long range, for the short range, you have like Cyril.
That's really cool. Okay, so the range in this thing is clear now. But like about the player's toolkit, I've seen a little bit of stealth gameplay. So like, what all tools does the player have in their toolkit?
I think one of the interesting thing about the stealth gameplay is we don't give information out to the player. Okay. So we are going classic. So there is no scanner. There is no way to see people behind the walls. Right. So you're going to earn your intel. So one of the best thing is you can talk to any of the enemies. You can bluff them. You can ask for the passwords. You can ask for like how many archers are there. You can subdue them. You can interrogate them. So it's up to the player how they want to play it, they can do it. But intels are not given. And definitely we have one interesting thing in the game is the stimulus. So entire world is a stimulus. Say whenever you walk, you create a noise. Whenever there is a fire, that creates a noise. Whenever you turn off something or whenever you do some distraction, it creates a noise. So even when you walk on the mud, you create more noise. Similarly, when you walk on the normal grass fields. So pretty much player has to leverage all these things and figure out how they're going to do the sandboxes.
That is so cool. Okay, amazing. So now, it was one more thing that stood out to me was like how historically accurate is this game? Like, are you going for historical accuracy, or is this like obviously there will be some kind of spin to it, but how much of it?
Yeah. So on the world side, the world would be historically accurate to the 11th century. We have been referring a lot of literature, poems, and a lot of historians as well, and we are bringing it to life as realistic as possible. And the story-wise, we went for fictional. I think one of the main reasons is we want to have that freedom. At the same time, we had few constraints when you take a real king character and you want to work on the game. So we have that flexibility there. But the world, whatever you're seeing in game, it's true to its era.
Okay. So like you've actually gone to like locations physically and like, put them down, map them out or something of that sort?
Exactly. I think one of the best thing about the Thanjai and the Tamil Nadu is we have those places live now. People use it day to day. So whatever you see in game, most of the places are still there. Like the big temple, like the Thanjavur, like all the paddy fields, all the entire biomes are still there. So we went to the place, we took references, and we rebuilt from there.
Amazing. And even the language is still there. So it's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys are going with the native language. So I love that. And I also saw like a city shot. And there was like some amount of like a good amount of NPC density and everything. And earlier, I think somebody was telling me that like, the NPC simulation aspect is like is there. So what is that like? What's up with that?
So one of the key thing when we went for open world is we want to go deep instead of wide. So the world is going to be 64 kilometers square, not a huge one, but at the same time, whatever you see things or whatever things that are in the world is going to be lively. And one of the key aspect is NPC. So every single NPC have their own schedule, have their own life, and you can talk to them, you can talk about their work, and they remember you as well, in a good way and in a bad way too. So if you're helping them, you have your own reputation. And another connected system is the gossip system. So if you're going to like throw a stone at them, they're going to just spread the news to few more people, and those guys won't greet you whenever you're walking on the road. So there are a lot of things that are connected into that, even on the main missions or side quests. At the same time, just spending the time in the world is going to be interesting. Think of it like you're going to face some enemy NPC at maybe like a 7th mission or 8th mission. You can find him in the world, having his own schedule. If you're going to kill him earlier, I think he won't be there during the main mission. So it's everything is connected.
Oh my God. Okay. So that is the level. So as in like, if there is a quest of like maybe trailing somebody at night, you have to do it at night and you have to, that is pretty crazy, like insane. All right. So you guys it's a pretty ambitious project. And so what about everything that we see in the game world, like these assets? Where did you made them like from scratch, or what's up with that?
So everything you see in the world is made from scratch, because you don't find like a 11th century Tamil cultural Chola architecture assets. Because one of the key thing is, if I have to make a tamarind tree, that makes it look like a South India or Tamil Nadu. If I place like a pine tree, it goes western. So that's the reason we went from grasses to bushes to the foliages. Even all the props you see in the game are made from scratch.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's like meticulously like picked out. Okay. Impressive again. And as for the plot, like obviously I'm not asking you to spoil it, but and like you have mentioned it briefly, but like is there anything else about the plot that you want to tell us about, or anything of that sort, or have you said it? Like,
I think there are two things I can talk about it.
Okay.
One, it's going to be an interesting journey for the player. I think there are multiple moments in the story where people can connect.
Right.
I think it kind of reflects their own life, right? Like people go through this, people meet different people, they make friends, and you have that emotional connection in the narrative.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there are a lot of interesting, cool boss fights, characters that are coming from different culture.
Right.
We don't want to reveal it, but you have those in game. So
Yeah.
You can definitely have fun playing it.
Right. And and that also reminded me about animations. I know that you guys have mocap, mocap studio. So you guys have motion capture, basically all of the essential stuff and everything as well.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Definitely. I think one of the key reasons why we went for it is we are creating this style of combat from scratch. And it's not like a template based, like a sword and shield. There are a bunch of templates that are there, because we need a lot of time to experiment as well.
Right.
So we created around 150 plus prototype for the Surreal World to tweak the values, and that's where you saw in the trailer. Okay. So we invested in our own optical motion capture. Okay. So pretty much cinematic, combat, stealth, or entire gameplay. Even for NPCs, we do all the shoots in-house.
Impressive again. So even with the weapon combat and everything, so do you actually have the weapon physically with you?
Yeah. So all the mocap is done with the physical weapon. So one of the hardest part was when all the mocap you saw is done by martial artists. We hired them, they do the motion capture. And the hardest part is the whip is so fast, the camera was not able to pick it. So
of course, really?
Yeah.
Can I see the whip?
Yeah, we have.
Okay. Do you have it here? Or?
Yeah, we have it in the studio. Yeah.
Can I see the whip?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this made of?
So this is made of the steel. So when we are spinning this, it kind of fans out and chops you.
Yeah, I can tell it fans out and then it chops for sure.
I think one of the hardest thing is if you don't do it right, you can hurt yourself with this.
Definitely. This thing definitely comes around. Yeah. So did somebody while motion capturing it hurt themselves?
We had few accidents, but most of it we went with a proper martial arts.
Okay. But this is not something that how long is this?
So it's around 4 meter or something. There's you have multiple variants. We went for a shorter one.
Crazy. Yeah. Guys, this is not the 1-for-1 in-game weapon, but this is the archetype. Insane. This is so cool. And as for the gameplay, yes, but about the PlayStation 5 features, do you have any are you implementing any features in particular?
Yeah, definitely. So we support DualSense, the haptic feedbacks, and the advanced haptic feedback for both PC and the PlayStation 2. And along with that, we have adaptive triggers. So whenever you're using Surreal, you can feel the recoil in your controller. So we did a lot of work on that, and you can try it out too. So we have that. And additionally, we support the Tempest 3D audio just for PlayStation, so that you get a really good sound experiences.
Amazing. And so if there was one thing that you're going for, that you want the players to take away from this game, what is it? What do you want the players to experience?
I think for players who are from India or from outside India, I think it's going to be the Indian warrior archetype. So this is the first time you're going to see an Indian warrior with an open world. You're going to take his journey, and at the end of the day, it's more than India or culture. It's more like the journey you had it in the game.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And I guess that's it for the questions that I had. There's obviously more, but I think you've told us enough. And I didn't expect you to be so open about the stuff, but I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for your time. If there's anything that you want to tell the audience before we go, one thing, do you have a release date in mind yet for the game?
So we are planning around early next year. So I think we have a lot of contents planned.
Okay.
So we'll announce it in the next content.
And can I ask you about the play time or the run time of this game? Approximately, if someone were to do a little bit of side activities, etc., how much would it be?
So at least the main quest would definitely take 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours. If you're not speedrunning it.
Right.
And for the entire completion, we are looking around 40 hours.
40 hours. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, nice.
It's a lot of
and what about do you have any DLC plans or
So we have 3 DLCs planned that will be launched post game, and we have a lot of celebration stuffs coming in, and there are a lot of cool things for the DLCs planned.
Okay, insane.
I can't relieve much, but it's coming.
And that's why I don't want to push. But I'm asking and you're telling, and that's all that's all I can say. So amazing, and that's about it for whatever questions I had. So thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And guys, definitely do check out the game. So do drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. See you soon. Bye.
PlayStation